Hello and welcome back to another video where today I will be going over some of my predictions for E3 2021. So before we get into the predictions, I would like to say I won't be covering every single show, otherwise this video would end up being quite long, and also I don't intend to watch every show. I only plan on watching the shows by the developers that I actually like. Okay, so starting off we have Ubisoft. Now I know currently Ubisoft are in a bit of hot water with the whole make Ubisoft accountable thing going round, and I do fully stand with the hashtag, but I do want to say personally what I think they will show at their event, as it's already quite unpopular, but I do still like their games and I plan to play at least the next two that we know, which is the Sands of Time remake and Far Cry 6. Besides from that, I don't know how much I'm going to play afterwards unless we actually see some proper change happen in the studio. So I just thought I'd get that out there now to say that I do fully stand behind the hashtag make Ubisoft accountable. So with that out of the way, let's get into the predictions. Before I started recording this, the official Prince of Persia Instagram and Twitter account put up this saying that they will not be in the Ubisoft Forward, which I'm a bit sad about because I would think we would have got an updated release date and maybe a trailer that shows off better gameplay. But besides from that, I think we will see some actual gameplay of Far Cry 6, and I think it'll be a fairly long gameplay demo, maybe like similar to what we saw with Horizon Forbidden West, being like a 10 to 15 minute gameplay demo. I think that will be really cool. But we know Ubisoft, I mean, they like to put emphasis on other games that appeal more to a general audience, like Just Dance. So maybe we'll get like a smaller gameplay trailer and then like a 5-minute gameplay segment of Just Dance. I could actually see that happening, as I think Ubisoft have done that in the past, especially at their E3 live shows. I also strongly believe that we will see a release date and trailer for Watch Dogs Legion's Bloodlines, as I believe that comes out in July. So maybe they'll release a trailer before E3, but I highly doubt it. I can definitely see like a gameplay segment, probably with Aiden Pierce in London, and they might also show us gameplay of the other three characters, Assassin, Wrench, and Assassin. I'll put a picture of them on screen. Maybe we'll get gameplay of them as well. And sticking with the topics of DLCs for games that have already been released, I can see a trailer being released for Assassin's Creed Valhalla Siege of Paris, as we only have a small snippet from the roadmap trailer, so I can definitely see that happening. And something that I think they would end the show with is probably a tease of the next Assassin's Creed game that probably will be released in 2022. That'd be quite cool. I think it's rumoured to be a samurai assassin game. Was obviously set in Japan. It'd be interesting to see if Xiao Yun is actually a playable character, because people have been wanting that for years now, ever since I think Chronicles of China came out. So if she does become the main playable character and it's just her and you don't get to choose between male and female, then I think that would be really cool, and I think that would be a way that Ubisoft could show that they're actually changing as a company, even in a very minor way. Okay, now moving on to Xbox/Bethesda. The first thing is something that I would really like to see, and that is The Evil Within 3 gets announced. Now, I'm not sure if that will happen, because we know that Tango Gameworks are currently working on Ghostwire Tokyo, but maybe they've assigned another smaller team to The Evil Within 3, and if that does happen, then I may have to end up seeing if it ends up coming to Steam, then I'll buy it on Steam, because I really like the Evil Within series. So it'll be really cool to see a third game. The next two are things that hopefully we will see. The first one we definitely should see, and that is Halo Infinite gameplay and a release date. I believe Halo Infinite is coming out this year. That'll probably be like their big holiday release, and the next is The Elder Scrolls 6. I doubt we'll see it, we might just get like another short trailer, but we'll have to wait until the actual event. Moving on to Square Enix, the first thing I could see being shown is a new trailer for Final Fantasy 16, and this time I think it will have the release date of 2022, but if the game does actually come out this year, I'll be very surprised. Even though we got like leaks saying that the game is closer than you think, I don't think it will come out this year, but if it does, I'll be very, very surprised. And sticking with Final Fantasy, I think we will get a teaser for Remake Part 2 being solely on the PS5, as we know that the team is sort of used to the engine, because they're going to integrate, and Tetsuya Nomura said that they're going to be sort of implementing the PS5 features, but they won't be fully utilising it until Part 2, so hopefully we'll get a trailer for that as well. And sticking with Tetsuya Nomura, I also think we will get a teaser for the next Kingdom Hearts game that is coming out next year, the 20th anniversary, and judging by what we saw at the end of Melody of Memory, I think it might be a similar game in the style of Dream Drop Distance, where maybe you play as Riku looking for Sora and you must play Sora as well, and it's kind of like a time loop sort of thing where you play as Sora first, then you play as Riku following his steps. I think that could be interesting. Maybe it'll be a Riku and Kairi game. I know quite a lot of people want Kairi to be playable more, and I would love that personally, but whatever they do, I'll be very excited just to get more Kingdom Hearts stuff. Another thing I can see being announced is a brand new Tomb Raider game, as it's been a little while since the last one. I think Shadow of the Tomb Raider came out in 2018, so it's been 3 years since that came out, and judging by what we know from the development of the reboot, it took 4 years for the game to come out, but it was delayed a bit longer, so technically it's supposed to come out in 3 years. So we could see it this year, or we could see it come out next year. Either way, I would love to see a brand new Tomb Raider game. And lastly, something very generic, I think they will show some more gameplay of Life is Strange True Colors and the remastered collection. Moving on to Capcom now, most of this, or actually all of this, is about Resident Evil. The first thing I think would be in Capcom rather than Nintendo's, and that is the reveal of Resident Evil Outrage. I think we'll get like maybe a cinematic trailer, maybe we'll get like a full on gameplay trailer as well, maybe we'll get the cinematic in Capcom's and the gameplay in Nintendo's, possibly. And I also think we will get like a season pass for Resident Evil Village. One of the things I would love to see is the scrapped story with Ada, as we knew she was supposed to be in the original game, but maybe they're reworking it into a DLC. I'd also like to see a DLC of how Mia got kidnapped, maybe we play as her, kind of like roaming around the village trying to escape, maybe like an escape room, and then maybe like a third DLC playing as Chris a bit more, because we only played as him for like a short time, so maybe playing with him a bit more could be interesting. Now, moving on to the event that I am looking forward to the most, that is Nintendo. The first thing that I think we will see is probably the release date and some gameplay of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. I also think we'll get its official name. I can see that happening highly. I think most people do, to be honest, because it is Zelda's 35th anniversary, and I also think we'll get the Zelda 35th anniversary direct sort of thing in this one as well. Like, I think maybe they'll do 10 minutes kind of just focusing on Zelda, like they have the 10-minute Mario Direct. I think they'll do like a segment that's just solely focused on Zelda, and what we can see that they'll announce like ports of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, maybe something to do with Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, like all the stuff for Zelda they have planned for this year. They'll already say what it is to us in this direct. Another thing that I know we'll definitely see is some gameplay on Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I'm still not fully on board with the names of Diamond and Pearl remakes. To me they just sound a bit too generic. They could have thought of some better names, but that's the names that they went with. I also think that we might see some sort of tease for Mario Kart 9, or maybe just some DLC for Mario Kart 8. If it is DLC for Mario Kart 8, then it's quite late, as it's been like, what, 3-4 years since the original Switch port came out, so it would be easier just to make 9, and maybe they wouldn't call it Mario Kart, maybe they call it like Nintendo Kart, and have like characters other than like Mario in it, like they did with the DLC for 8, where they had Link and like Inklings and like Isabelle and Tom Nook. So maybe that would be something they could do, like expand the Kart series from just Mario Kart to like Nintendo Kart. And I also think we'll get the reveals of the last 2 characters in the Smash Bros. Fighter Pass Volume 2. I think the first one will be Crash Bandicoot, and the second one is someone who I've really wanted in Smash, and that is Lara Croft. I think Lara would be pretty cool to see in Smash. I think she might be placed similar to Bayonetta, as they both wield like dual pistols. So I think that would be interesting to see how they would bring Lara into Smash. And following the pattern of third-party Smash fighters, I think we will see a Tomb Raider game announcement follow the Fighter Pass character announcement, and I think the game will be a collection, but it won't be the modern trilogy. I think it'll be Tomb Raider Legend, Anniversary, Underworld, with Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, and Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, because they both came out on like older hardware, so the Switch should be able to run them no problem. Moving on to EA Play, which is actually a little while after the rest of these, I think we will see a teaser for Jedi Fallen Order 2. I don't think it'll be much. I think it might just be like BD1 walking up and then we get like a logo or something. I think it'll be a very, very short tease with a release year probably being 2023. I also think we'll get the announcement of Jedi Fallen Order on PS5 and an enhanced version for Series X/S. I also hope we get to see the Star Wars Battlefront 3 announcement trailer, as we haven't actually had a Battlefront 3. There's always been some problem that means it doesn't get made, so it'd be good to see how they will evolve the gameplay and features in 2 into 3 and add more characters like Ahsoka. I also think we'll see something to do with The Sims 5, as we know that is coming, and Mass Effect 5 gets announced, as after the success of the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect, I think they'll be very silly not to do something with Mass Effect, even if it's not called Mass Effect 5. And somewhere in all of this, I think we'll see a state of play, as even though Sony aren't attending E3, they will sure do some kind of state of play around the time. I think we'll get some sort of teaser / announcement for Marvel Spider-Man 2 that will be announced that it's only on PS5 and it won't be on PS4, at least I hope, because I'm not a huge fan of that trend that Sony's doing. I know most people don't have a PS5 currently, but it does feel like the purchase of the console isn't being fulfilled, as quite a lot of the first party major PS5 games are also coming to PS4, and it kind of feels like I didn't really need to buy a PS5, I kind of just bought a PS4. So hopefully we'll get out of this phase and they'll solely be releasing PS5 games. I also think we'll get a trailer for God of War Ragnarok, probably with the release date of 2022 like we already know, and we'll probably get another trailer for Horizon Forbidden West and also the release date. If there's anything that I've missed in this prediction video, be sure to leave them in the comment section down below. But that's all I have for this video. If you've liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in another video.